Hi everyone, I'm back and I have on eyebrows. Wow. I'm not a fan of the whole eyebrow no makeup thing, but it saves us time and you don't need to watch me put on my eyebrows over and over and over again. So today I used some pomade on my eyebrows. I mean, they're never the same. That's a good thing. Remember, they're supposed to be sisters, not twins. So, as I promised, the review on the new Huda Beauty Remastered Rose Gold palette. I did not own, never bought the original Rose Gold palette, but when this came out, and it was my birthday, I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to have that. I love my Desert Dusk Huda Beauty palette. This has many gorgeous mattes in there for transition, many shimmers. I would recommend putting your shimmer on with either water. I don't use water, but you can use Fix Plus, whatever your makeup setting spray is. Spray it on your brush. Use on these beautiful shimmers. And we're going to dive in. I swatched this palette yesterday. It was amazing. And let's just say I am dying to jump in to this 24 karat color right here. I mean, who wouldn't be? This rose gold color right next to the 24 karat. I mean, this palette, I've saw some other reviews on it, and I guess there's controversy. Why remaster a palette? I believe Huda said that they remastered it because that was their first palette out, if I'm not mistaken, and they wanted to do it better formula, better. Better is better. For me, there is no drama behind wanting to remaster an old palette in a better formula. I wouldn't feel mad if I had the old palette and the new one came out. Many points that I saw that were raised was if you purchase the original palette and then the company comes out with a remastered palette that's better, that it's not fair. Well, the palette came out, I don't even know how many years ago, and I'm just going to start in, and I'm going to use my Osmosis Press Base Powder for my foundation today. And you guys will see the love. So that wouldn't bother me. I mean, I'm not really understanding why it wouldn't be fair. Maybe it's my age. To me, it doesn't bother me that they wanted to do it better with their newer formulas. And they also have a couple of different colors in this palette. I kind of like it. And I saw a lot of kickback in the reviews, the palette reviews, meaning when they were dipping into the shadows, a lot was falling out. Now, the controversy about kickback is either you care about it or you don't, per se. And it doesn't really bother me as long as the eyeshadow does what it's supposed to do on my eye or on the eye. So, it's okay for me if there's a lot of kickback onto the palette when I dip in. As long as it blends well and it's buildable and it performs, okay. The palette price, I think is $43, or don't quote me. It's on Sephora, $43, $45 somewhere in there. I really, really, really like it. I've meaning I've loved all the swatches. And I'm using my Osmosis concealer as usual. My moisture stick that I live and die by. I lightened up my color for my under eye. The rule of thumb is for your concealer, you want it 2 shades lighter than your foundation. That is the going rule of thumb. So I'm going to use partly my brush and partly my fingers. Seeing how as I left my sponge upstairs and I wanted to get the video filmed. So Mama is not going back upstairs. So that was the controversy about the palette. Like I said, fallout doesn't bother me. I have a few. My Desert Dust Huda Beauty fallout, Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette has fallout. It doesn't bother me. The shadows blend great. They work well. They perform well. I'm just pressing in my concealer with my fingers. Then I'm going to go back in with my brush that I put on my powder foundation with. And I'm just going to roll over a little bit. We want the light to stay in the center of our face. And I'm using this as setting. Now I'm going to set my under eye. And I hope you guys are doing good on this Thursday today. I'm doing very well. Gonna get some organic shopping on for vegetables. Going to fix a salad for dinner for my husband and I. Our daughter is at home tonight, so it's just me and him. And my daughter does not care for salad yet. Hopefully she does. At some point in her life, she wakes up and goes, salad is so great. I haven't got there yet, but hopefully. Now I'm going to cut in my eyes, put an eyeshadow base on, and I'm using my NARS concealer as pretty much every day. Sometimes I just use my regular Tarte Shape Tape concealer to set my eyes, but mostly I use NARS. This concealer is amazing for cutting in your eyebrows and setting your eyeshadow. And I'm so psyched to try this eyeshadow. Actually, on my eyes. I mean, come on with these colors. We're going to go dancing again soon. And I want to figure out, dancing eyes also. And last night I was practicing on wings. Remember, that's a great tip that I give you guys. I mean, I learned it from someone else on the internet too. Who was it? Jaclyn Hill. Really love her videos. She's so talented. She's so beautiful. She said it very few times in her videos. Hey, before you go to bed and you're washing your makeup off for the day, practice for 5 minutes. So I stood in my bathroom, which I don't normally put my makeup on in my bathroom, but I stood in there last night for 5 minutes and practiced wings. I practiced like wing, clear out to here wing, tiny wing, big wing, wiped it off, did another wing, messed up. I was washing my face for bed anyways. So it didn't really matter what it looked like or what I was doing. I was just practicing my art. As I always say, makeup is art. It's your art. Even if you're not artsy like me, I can't draw. My daughter draws beautiful. Now I'm setting in with some powder. And of course, I always set my under eye and my eyelids with the same powder, Tarte Amazonian clay, because it's good for you, good for your skin. This is Smooth Operator. I've heard a review on Young Skin that this powder made their under eye dry. Well, I don't set my under eye with a wet sponge and powder. Maybe that's what could possibly dry you out. I just dust my under eye and dust my eyelid. When I can use good stuff for you, you know, meaning for your skin, good for you, and makeup, I pretty much try to choose that. Except for eyeshadow. So, I mean, my powders are not all perfectly chemicaled, you know, configured powders. But I do make sure my osmosis is good for you, good for your skin. My osmosis concealer, anything that's setting on my naked skin, I try to make sure that it's good for you, good for me, good for my skin. So I'm going to get out a blending brush. And I have been just loving my blending brush. I'm still on the fat-ended one. I'm still on the Kick 535 Morphe, still on it. I mean, I cannot, it's just amazing. So, where are we going to start? Let's start with the color Demure, right here. And I'm just barely tapping off, and I'm going in. And I'm using windshield wiper motion. And you have to be light-handed when you tap into eyeshadow and you're tapping in. So Fallout on Demure, which is this, I really don't have any, but I am using a very light touch. I'm not digging into the pan, and I'm not digging into my eyeball. Just want some transition color down. So the rest of my eyeshadow has something to blend into, lock into. You're building colors. It's always a nice choice to make in makeup, to build your colors. I'm still tapping off and blending. I gotta yell at the dog. Sophie, quit! She was having an issue. I really like this color on my eyelid. It's very pretty. So let's tap into another one. Let's switch brushes maybe. Let's get out a smaller brush. This is 513. And I'm going to tap in to Sandalwood. And light touch. I really whacked it on that one. I had some kickback. Let me see the pan. Can't really see it on camera. It's just a small amount of kickback. But I'm just trying to be well-informed consumer and well aware that the shadows are kickback. They're very creamy. They're blending. I believe there's kickback in the pan because the shadows are soft. Okay, so that could be a reason why they have some people call it dusty, but for me, I don't consider this, when you touch it, it doesn't feel dusty. It feels very creamy. And this is very, very pretty. I've got a tighter brush. I'm working lower into the eye. and I'm just barely tapping and tapping off. Very pretty. And it's blending very well. It's easy to blend. It's blending out. I don't have fallout onto my face since I always start with my foundation. That's a personal preference, you guys. If you want to start with your eyes, many people do. I really don't know how I got on the kick of foundation first, but I've always, maybe it's just because I've always done it like that. I don't know. But I guess I could always change it up and do my eyes first. I don't know. But I always do my foundation first. Okay, that's good for me. That looks really, really pretty. Really pretty. And don't mind it if it's, you look like it's blocky. Like if you see it's kind of blocky looking, don't worry, because you have your blending time when you get all the colors on. And you just kind of go in and blend as you go. So your colors are kind of just married together and blended together. So I'm going to put some glitter glue on. This is my Too Faced glitter glue, the same glitter glue. This is the same bottle I've been using for I don't even know how long, because it doesn't take a lot, and I just tap it on. You can also apply it with a brush. It's also personal preference. And I just think you can put this all over your eye if you wanted to wear shimmer or glitter all over your eye and you wanted to go to the club. Hey, go for it. You won't hear a word from me. I just tap it in. It's just going to help everything sit on the eye, not move around. And it's going to be great. I use this quite often when I wear shimmers. It's kind of recommended. I see many beauty girls recommend glitter glue. There's many brands that carry it. This is just the one I happen to use. There's ones with like more liquidy applicators. All kinds of glitter glue out there. I don't think I've ever seen any glitter glue at the drugstore, but honestly, I haven't looked. So I don't want to say there's no glitter glue at the drugstore because I don't know for sure. So now I'm going to find my flat brush for packing, and I'm going to go, instead of going with my Morphe, I'm actually going to use my Sephora flat brush for packing. This is number 15. Well, it actually says 747 on the end, so I'm not for sure if it's Pro Small Shadow Packing Brush. It's kind of a little bit fluffier than my Morphe packing brush, but I just wanted to see how this brush could perform. I'm going to use my Max Fix Plus, and we are just going to wet it down. We'll just a small amount. We want some moisture on our brush. And of course, I'm going to go in to 24 karat. And we're just going to dip right on in, and I'm going to see what it does. And I'm going to hold it to the front of the eye and pack. Pack means press, not like this. Packing is pressing. Now you can use these small tapping motions to pack your shadow on. And this color is stunning. Oh my God. I mean, I can't even deal with the, oh, of course I can, but the formulation of this color. Oh, people, please. Makeup is amazing. Don't be afraid of anything when it comes to makeup. And don't be afraid to try something new. Because why? Because it's makeup, ladies. You can just go wash it off if you hate it. But when you try something new, try to come up with 5-minute rule. Look at it for 5 minutes. Walk around the house, look in a different mirror. Try to be outside of your comfort zone. Now I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to lightly press for that ultimate color payoff. And I've kept the shadow in the front of the eye. Don't be afraid. And I look weird because I'm using my pinky. And I don't normally use my pinky. That looks stunning. I mean stunning. Just the sheer amount of color. Stunning. Okay. Now we're going to get some blending on. Morphe 504. This is a very large blending brush. And what are we going to blend with? I say let's blend with some henna. It's on the very bottom row. And we're just going over the top and light motions. So pretty. Just impressed as I'll get out with this eyeshadow. And I'm going on the outer edge with the color henna. And I'm buffing. And I'm blending. And we're keeping all the action in the front of the eye. From like pupil forward. Absolutely gorgeous. And we're going to do the same thing to this eye. Now we're buffing. We're blending. This is just gorgeous. Oh, do I sound like a broken record yet? Oh my God, somebody take me. Somebody take me away from the palette. Oh yeah, I do sound like a broken record. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Now, I want my big fat fluffy brush that I was using. No, oh, here it is. My table gets full. No additional product, because I don't want any additional product. And I'm letting the brush do all the work for me. Oh my golly golly. The shadows are performing nicely. I still don't have any fallout. And I want to put on, I want to wear, I want under, I'm going to use bubbly. Or no, let's see, moon dust. Tapping into the color moon dust for a brow highlighter, brow bone highlighter. Oh, it does look pretty, doesn't it? It sure does. Now we're going to go inner corner. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Just right in your inner corner. Brow bone. Looks super pretty. We're going to go back to blending in a minute. But we want to get our color packed on real nice. Yeah, and it looks awful when you're packing on color. Always remember that. Don't have expectations of, hey, I can pack on color and it looks good, because it just don't. When you're packing, you're not blending. So that's always, then you take your brush that you blend with at the beginning with no additional product, and you just blend it out. So you get rid of the harsh edges and the lines, and your pop of color sits still, but it blends out all, or, you know, the lines that it creates from packing on color. I just want a little bit more on the inner corner. There you go. And that looks amazing. Now I'm going to address my under eye. And I always do that with a pencil brush. And I'm going to choose my wider one, and I broke the end off, E18. We are going to go down there with the same color I have on top, which is henna. And we're joining the look together. I'm just barely tapping into the pen. This palette comes with a very nice mirror. It's a full mirror, just like her Desert Dust palette that I have. I think this is an amazing palette, and I think it performs very well. I think it's well worth the money. Let me pull out my Desert Dusk. This is Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette. It's been well loved, as you can see. You can see there's some fallout in the pans. The pan sizes are okay, but this is lasting a long time. I've probably had this palette 7-8 months. It's in great condition. I use it all the time. I use the mirror in it almost every single day because I like to be comfortable when I put on my makeup. This palette is no exception to what I experienced with Huda Beauty. I've also heard many reviews on her lip products. Awesome. I don't own any Huda Beauty lip products, but maybe in the future I'll put it into my collection. I actually am still obsessed with my Good For You lip products from lip gloss from Glow Skin Beauty. Still obsessed. I still have the other two colors, Naked and the Still Cupcake. I mean, I'm still obsessing over these Good For You products. I don't have a lot of kick out on this palette from this look today. So I highly recommend that it's worth the spend. It's going to last you. So you're going to get your money's worth out of it. It's not like when you invest in makeup, you have to toss it after so many months or a year. I've heard many people like to toss their stuff after a year. I don't recommend you keeping mascara more than a few months. Now, because of the bacteria that we get built up in mascara, I try to keep my mascara. I'm going to put on my bronzer, and I'm going to use Luminous Bronze Light with my favorite bronzing brush of all times. This is Morphe E59. So mascara, yeah. Eyeliner, I can, yes. If it's a pencil and you're grinding it down, then you don't really have to worry about it unless you've kept it and not really used it and you've dipped into it, you know, a few times and it's over a year old. I would throw away eyeliner pencils, eyeliner gels, gel eyeliner pots. I would not keep them over a year. When your pots get dry-ish, then toss them. But when it comes to eyeshadow and your powders, I really don't see a limitation on the health of, as long as you're not handing your powders to other people and you're not sharing, per se, bacteria loads, I don't really see a life limit to your powders. I would keep them until you use them up. And I'm digging this eye. I'm just really digging it. I just can't even. I'm going to put on blush, of course, and I'm going to use some more Hourglass, and I think I will use my peach blush. That's what I call it. It doesn't say peach in the name. The name is Incandescent Electra. You've seen me wear this many times. I absolutely love this blush. Hourglass Absolutely love that company, love their products. I always start up here and push into my bronzer. And this blush has just a tiny, tiny bit of kind of shimmer to it. It doesn't super, you don't put it on, it's like zing, you're glowing to the heavens. But it's just got enough, especially for mature faces that need a little extra light on them, a little extra oomph, because our skin is not reflecting light the same way. It's not holding products the same way. Hourglass will be your best friend in that arena. I'm also going to put some powder on over on top, and I'm still going to use my same luminous light. I mean, what's the deal? Hourglass powder on my whole face, and it just gives you that healthy glow. I put it over the top, kind of blend everything in. I don't run it under my eyeballs. I use this almost every single day, my Park Avenue Tarte palette. I am way into this palette. I use it to contour my nose. I use this for my under eye brightener. I use this flat brush, fits right under here. This is a Morphe 437. I use the color Enhance, and I go right on in there, and I'm exactly what I'm doing, enhancing my under eye. I want my under eye to be completely creaseless. This also dusts off your excess powder that you had powdered in with, if you have any left. And then I use a pencil brush to put in my nose contour. I've been way into nose contour. I've been really practicing, trying to get better and better and better. I've been trying different brushes, pencil brushes. I use the color called Princess Cut, and I'm just drawing a straight line down the side of my nose. I'm giving it some contour. And it's bizarre. I mean, nose contouring is the bomb. I wouldn't have said that, I don't know, last month. But I finally thought, why am I not trying that? Why am I not just giving it a shot? It's hard to do in the camera, though, that much I can tell you. So, you look like a dork when you first put it on, and this, in my camera, this up here doesn't even look even, but in my mirror, it does. So, I'm okay. So, then I blend it with the same brush that I put on my, and sorry, you know, cuckoo clocks galore up in here. Grandfather clocks. That's just how it rolls in my house. And I don't want to blend it all away, but I just tone it down, blend it in, because it's all powders. And then I tap when I spray my face with my makeup setting spray. And you don't have to wear makeup setting spray. I did not put on any mascara, but I will be. I still use my Tarte Amazonian Clay mascara. And I still lean heavy on the outer corner, which I will finish off camera. Because I know my videos get long, but I don't see any need rushing through. And if you guys can't sit down and watch the whole video at one time, then just break it up into pieces. I just think it's better to kind of explain more in detail, just take my time and have a conversation. So I'm going to use my makeup, my MAC Fix Plus for my setting spray. And literally, it's just barely. And I'm punching it in as I always do because I just don't like it to dry setting on top. I kind of like, especially when I'm wearing the powder foundation, if I can just help it melt everything into my skin and kind of marry everything together. I also started trying using a big fluffy brush. This is a highlighting brush. This is Morphe R36. But I have another big brush that I have upstairs. I'll show you guys the next time for putting on my highlighter. It really looks very subtle when you use like a bigger brush, especially for you guys that don't like zooming up to the moon. I love using the big fluffy for putting on your highlighter. It really looks pretty. You cover a lot of ground, especially when you're using hourglass highlighters for mature skin. I believe is your best choice in my practiced opinion. And there we have it. I just love this eyeshadow. There's really no fallout. Nothing fell on my face. I was slow. I did go at it slow. I think it turned out really pretty. Well worth the money. It's a great palette. We'll have some more looks with it. I can imagine doing many looks with this palette. There's so many options. You know, you could do browns or pinks. I mean, there's a lot of options in the palette to go for. Recommend it highly. I thought it turned out really pretty. Thanks for being here, guys. I love you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.